It's 2 in the morning and the world outside your window is silent. You should be asleep, but instead you're wide awake listening to that all too familiar sound, slurp, slurp, slurp. Your dog is at the foot of the bed, gnawing and licking at their paws with relentless focus, totally oblivious to your whispered pleas for them to stop. You sigh, shifting on your pillow, resentment mixing with worry, knowing that tomorrow's workday will come with drooping eyelids and a pounding headache. But you can't bring yourself to get angry. After all, your dog is your best friend, and the desperation in their eyes when you shush them cuts deep. You've tried everything, every cream, every cone, every special treat the vet recommended, but nothing seems to make a difference. You've searched online at midnight, scrolling through endless articles, desperately looking for an answer that actually works. And yet, here you both are, tired, frustrated, and trapped in the same exhausting routine. But what if you've been missing something critical? What if the real reason your dog just won't stop licking has been hiding in plain sight all along? Tonight, you're about to uncover the truth that can finally give you and your best friend a quiet, peaceful night's sleep. For most pet parents, the first explanation you'll ever hear for nonstop paw licking is allergies. Maybe your vet suggested pollen, dust mites, or even your carpet cleaner. You might have walked out of the clinic clutching a prescription for allergy pills or a steroid shot, your wallet a little lighter, but your hope lifted, at least temporarily. But here's the hard truth. While these treatments bring some relief, they work like a Band-Aid covering a much deeper wound. Allergy meds simply turn down the itch signal. They don't fix what's actually driving your dog to gnaw their feet raw night after night. It's understandable to chase the allergy theory. It's neat, it's familiar, and it sounds scientific. But ask yourself, how often does the problem actually disappear for good? How many times have you finished a bottle of pills only for your dog to be right back at square one as soon as the medication runs out? If you've poured time and money into treatment after treatment with no true cure, you are not alone. The truth is, focusing on allergies alone means missing the real culprit and keeps you stuck perpetually managing symptoms. Let's break free from this cycle and look deeper for the real answer. Here's what most dog owners never hear. The real culprit behind obsessive paw licking is often a silent, stubborn yeast infection hiding in plain sight. Specifically, a microorganism called Malassezia. This yeast isn't some exotic invader, it's a normal resident on your dog's skin, just waiting for the right conditions to multiply out of control. And your dog's paws, believe it or not, provide the perfect breeding ground. Think about the way your dog's paws are built. There are tiny spaces between the toes, folds where moisture can get trapped, and a natural warmth that's hard to avoid. Every time your dog walks through wet grass, licks their feet, or simply sweats, a lot more common than you think, those paws create exactly the damp, dark environment that yeast loves to call home. Over time, a small population of Malassezia can suddenly turn into an itchy, smelly army. That's where the infamous Frito feet comes in. If you've ever leaned down and caught a whiff of your dog's paws only to be hit with that unmistakable corn chip scent, you're not imagining things. It's a telltale sign that yeast is having a field day and your dog senses the burn and itch long before you do. But here's the crucial bit. Yeast isn't just annoying, it's relentless. The more your dog licks in an attempt to soothe the irritation, the more moisture they add, and the easier it is for the yeast to keep thriving. Imagine bailing water from a leaking boat but never fixing the hole. Masking the itch with pills means missing the real flood, so understanding Malassezia means you're finally closing in on a true solution. Now that you recognize the real foe, you can actually defeat it for good. Take Max, a gentle golden retriever whose midnight licking kept his family up for weeks. At first, his owner thought he was just cleaning himself or maybe reacting to a bit of grass. But the more Max licked his paws, the redder and more inflamed they became. With every lick, Max wasn't actually soothing himself, he was unknowingly making things worse. His warm, wet tongue delivered exactly what yeast craves, more heat and moisture. The spaces between his toes stayed damp, creating a mini rainforest where Malassezia could thrive undisturbed. Soon, Max's paws started to smell like old corn chips, and the once white fur between his toes turned a rusty, brownish color. No matter how many collars or cones his owners tried, Max's urge to lick was overwhelming. It became a vicious cycle. More itchy irritation led to more licking, which fed the yeast, which caused even more irritation. Not only was Max miserable, but his family felt helpless, watching him lose sleep and joy. Breaking this endless loop requires more than willpower. It demands understanding the hidden science behind why licking and yeast go hand in hand. The good news, this knowledge is the first step in stopping the suffering. Many caring dog owners, desperate for answers, never realize that the real culprit might be hiding right in their pet's food bowl. Here's the aha moment. Yeast feeds on sugar, and most dog foods, even those labeled as grain-free or premium, are packed with hidden starches and carbohydrates. Ingredients like potatoes, peas, rice, corn, and tapioca act as binding agents for those crunchy kibbles, but once your dog eats them, their body converts these starches straight into glucose, a form of sugar that yeast absolutely loves. Think of it this way: every day your dog's food could be providing a buffet for malassezia. You may never sprinkle sugar directly over your dog's dinner, but the insidious truth is, many formulas provide exactly what yeast needs to thrive. This is why, no matter how many topical treatments you try, the problem remains. You're treating the outside, but constantly fueling the enemy from within. Spotting this hidden source is the game-changing breakthrough that most owners overlook. By understanding how diet feeds yeast at the deepest level, you gain a powerful new lever in stopping the cycle for good, and finally helping your dog find real, lasting relief. So how do you actually break the cycle and help your dog starting tonight? You need a plan that brings quick comfort now and tackles the root cause for long-term healing. Here's your 3-part blueprint. Step 1, soothe the itch instantly with an apple cider vinegar paw soak. This isn't just an old wives' tale. Science backs it up. Yeast can't flourish in an acidic environment. Here's how to do it safely. Mix 1 part raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with 2 parts warm water in a small tub or basin. For severely raw paws, dilute it even more. Gently place your dog's paws in the solution and let them soak for 5 minutes. Carefully dry every crevice between the toes. Yeast loves any leftover moisture, so towel dry thoroughly. Repeat this once a day for a week or until you see clear improvement. If your dog has any open wounds or cracks, always use plain water instead to avoid stinging. Step 2. Change what goes into the bowl. Reducing yeast's food supply means choosing a diet low in starchy fillers and high in real animal protein. Scan the ingredient list on your current dog food and watch for corn, wheat, soy, rice, potatoes, and peas high up on the label. Instead, look for foods that list fresh meat, fish, or poultry as the top ingredients. Ideally, a raw, freeze-dried, or gently cooked whole food formula. Can't go completely fresh? Even supplementing with small amounts of real meat, eggs, or plain unsweetened yogurt can help. Every improvement in protein to carbohydrate ratio counts. Step 3. Rebuild a healthy gut with the right probiotic. Yeast overgrowth often starts with a disrupted gut microbiome, so restoring balance is essential for long-term success. Not all probiotics are created equal. For yeast issues, look for one with Saccharomyces boulardii, a beneficial yeast that actually crowds out the harmful strain. Mix the recommended dose into your dog's food daily, or choose a trusted veterinary-formulated probiotic. If dairy is tolerated, plain kefir or unsweetened yogurt adds another easy layer of good bacteria to defend your dog's system. Why these steps work? The vinegar soak targets the yeast on your dog's skin, quickly calming irritation. Upgrading food reduces the fuel that feeds yeast, addressing the problem at its core. Probiotics shore up your dog's defenses from the inside out, sealing the gut lining and blocking future outbreaks. Think of these changes as a shield, not just a patch. Each works together to stop yeast now and keep it away. By following this plan, you're giving your dog real comfort and lasting protection, one simple, loving step at a time. Let's come back to Max, the golden retriever whose restless nights were taking a toll on everyone. After his family started the step-by-step plan, daily vinegar soaks, a lower-carb, high-protein food, and a targeted probiotic, the change was undeniable. Within a week, the frantic licking that once echoed through the house at all hours slowed, then nearly vanished. Max was finally sleeping peacefully, his paws soft, pink, and free of that stubborn Frito smell. No longer tormented by constant irritation, he could spend his days chasing balls, not biting at his feet. His family, once gripped by helpless frustration, now looks forward to quiet nights and joyful mornings. Stories like Max's aren't rare. They're repeated by pet parents everywhere who move past symptom chasing and tackle the real problem. The divide between old suffering and new relief is dramatic. Sleepless nights give way to restful silence. Anxious energy is replaced by contentment. The hope you once held at a distance suddenly becomes reality as you reclaim your household's peace and, most importantly, your dog's happiness. Every small change you make brings you that much closer to your own before and after story, proving true healing is entirely within reach. If your dog's paw licking still lingers after these steps, don't lose hope. Some cases just need a little extra detective work. First, consult your vet for a skin scraping or culture to rule out underlying bacteria or mites, which can mimic yeast symptoms. If diet is already dialed in, try rotating protein sources or switching to a hydrolyzed protein formula for especially stubborn cases. Watch for seasonal triggers like grass pollen or road salt and rinse paws after walks. Avoid scented floor cleaners or yard chemicals that might irritate sensitive skin. If redness spreads, paws ooze, or you notice limping, seek veterinary help quickly. Some infections need prescription medication. Healing chronic issues can take time and a bit of trial and error, but with each adjustment you're getting closer. Remember, many pet parents have cracked the case, stick with the journey, and know solutions always exist. even for tough-to-solve challenges. Here's your new path forward. Spot the signs of yeast, challenge old allergy assumptions, check for sneaky sugars in food, soothe with vinegar soaks, and rebuild the gut with the right probiotic. Every step you take chips away at the root of the problem, not just the symptoms. Even if nothing else has worked before, you now have real tools backed by science and experience to break the paw-licking cycle for good. Remember, you are your dog's biggest ally. With these steps, restful nights, and a healthier, happier best friend are absolutely within reach. You've got this. Now I want to hear from you. Has your dog been struggling with paw licking? What have you tried and what are you most excited to do next? Share your story in the comments below. Your experience could help another pet parent feel less alone. If this video gave you new hope or ideas, let me know which tip you'll try first. And if you want more science-backed practical solutions for your dog's health, join our community by subscribing for weekly updates. Thank you for caring so deeply for your best friend. Together, we're making happier, healthier dogs possible.